अरिहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर जोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहत है। ओ मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। ओ मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। So we will continue where we left off last week regarding Nimit Upadan. We were on page number 9. Okay. And I have given you 3 examples. We can do it quickly. Who will do it? Roshni ji, you have listened to the earlier recordings?
I did not listen to last week's, but the week before I listened. I haven't finished last week's.
So you will be able to apply all the 5 causes in the examples, 3 examples I gave.
So is that from the last lecture?
Maybe before that lecture also we were discussing Nimit Upadan only. So basic things were discussed in the first class itself. Then all it was an extension of what we have already discussed. So you can try, otherwise we will help you. So at least you will be, because everyone else have done it. So I think, so the first example was ring made of gold. Okay, ring made of gold. So this one is pretty easy. So you have to tell me what is eternal principal cause. Okay.
The principal, yes.
Principal is Upadan, you know.
Yes.
Trikali Upadan is eternal principal cause. Then you have to tell me immediate prior modification, eligibility of the moment, motivational instrumental cause, indifferent instrumental cause. 5 things you have to tell me.
Sir, I don't think I'll be able to answer that.
Okay, no problem.
I know the Hindi version, but not the.
Oh, yeah, Hindi also you can say, no problem.
Yeah. So, the instrumental cause is the jeweler or the artist who's changing the goldsmith. He's changing the paryai of the gold, but the Nija Shakti is in the gold itself.
Okay.
And that's Upadan. Yeah, I think that's all I can say.
Anantar Purva Shanvarti Paryai, that is immediate prior modification, and the eligibility of the moment. Tat samay ki yogyata. So tat samay ki yogyata would be what?
It's the quality of the gold that allows it to change shape.
No, the action that has taken place is the tat samay ki yogyata. What action has been taken in this example? Ring. The making of the ring. Ring is the action. Okay, final action is ring. And what would be immediate prior modification? Prior modification before the ring, the whole process, right? Taking the from raw gold to with all the process that it comes to a ring. Okay, the whole process is immediate prior modification. and you told about Goldsmith, that was motivational instrumental cause. What would be indifferent instrumental cause?
The tools that the goldsmith uses.
Yes, right. The tools that
Sure.
Goldsmith uses, right. So more or
Yeah.
less you know the concept, but you have to, this is a very important class. So last week you should cover up, and this is our concept clarity also. Okay. So in concept
Yes.
clarity, you have to uh, refer to the chart also. You have to make a chart of by yourself, just the same copy, and the whole article about the instrumental cause and principal cause. Okay. And so that concept clarity is also there. So anyway, you have to listen to that lecture, and then you can prepare the CC3. Okay. So what is the deadline? I think 20th. What is the deadline, Hemali, for the CC3?
I think 22nd.
22nd or 20th? Whatever, you complete on deadline. Okay. It's not given there. I'd mentioned in the class. Anyway, you consider it at 20th December only, and you complete. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So we'll continue. The other two examples we will take later on. Let's study for some time now. Starting from page number 9. You can share the PDF. Yeah. Okay. Slightly below. Take it down. Take it down.
Sir, is this the English version of Nimittupadam?
Yes, the book written by Dr. Bharilji.
Bharilji. Okay, I have the Hindi version.
So this is the English
I'll
version.
check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slightly below. Go down. Further.
Listen,
Yeah. This is where we ended on that day. So in the given context, what Acharya Pujyapat Swami in Istopdes has to say about this. So from there you read. Roshni, you only read. You can read from the screen. And there is a PDF shared in the group also. You can check. Okay.
Okay. Yes. Listen, brother. From the above explanation, only the difference between Udasina Nimit and Prerak Nimit is clarified. But it does not prove doership of either in the origination of Karya. In the given context, Acharya Pujyapada in Istopdesa, Shloka 35, elaborates further. Naino Vijnat
You will leave that one. You straightway read the meaning. Yeah.
Okay. And Anjana or Anjana or
Agyan.
ignorant
It is
person.
Agyan. It is written like that. It is Agyan.
Okay. An Agyan or ignorant person cannot be made Vigyan or knowledgeable through external factors like Upadesh, instruction, nor can a Vigyan be Agyan because external entities merely serve as Nimit, similar to what Dharmastikaya or Dharmatravya is to Jeev and Pudgal that move by themselves. Clarifying this further, in Sanskrit, Tika commentary states, here a doubt may arise that, in this way, external nimit will be rejected entirely. The answer to this is that, be they teacher or opponent, they are merely nimit in origination and destruction of a given karya. In reality, it's the capability of a karya that is the cause of its completion or otherwise. From this statement, it is absolutely clear that the most effective cause in any karya is its tatsamaiki yogyata, or the ability of that samai in the form of shanik upadan, Kshanik upadan karan, momentary substantial cause. The fundamental differences between prerak nimit or motivational auxiliary cause and udasin nimit, indifferent auxiliary cause, are as follows. Dravya, dravya which are inactive and devoid of the power of desire are considered udasin nimit or indifferent auxiliary cause, whereas dravyas which are active and with desires are referred to as prerak nimit or motivational auxiliary cause. Dharma dravya, either matter nimit in motion, is
Ether.
Oh, ether, sorry. Dharma dravya or ether matter nimit in motion is nimit for movement of self-moving jeev and pudgal, while adharma dravya, ether matter nimit in stationary dravyas, serves as nimit for jeev and pudgal capable of being in a state of rest after being in motion. Akash dravya or space substance serves as a nimit for giving space to all substances, and the kal dravya or time substance serves as a nimit in modification of substances. Teachers who teach students are with desire and are referred to as prerak nimit or motivational auxiliary cause. The wind is also considered a prerak nimit as it is active in the fluttering of the flag. While it is true that dharma dravya, ether matter nimit in motion, adharma dravya, ether matter nimit in rest, akash dravya, space substance, and kal dravya, time substance, are considered udasin nimit due to their lack of desires and inactiveness. Jeev dravya has desires and is kriyavana, capable of action, and pudgal is kriyavana, so they are said to be prerak nimit. However, in the origination of karya, effect or work done, all nimits are udasin, like dharmastikaya, either matter nimit in motion.
Stop. So we are discussing now the instrumental cause. Okay. Yeah, any questions?
Sorry, that last paragraph I'm not understanding.
Right. Okay, let me make it clear. In this, the last paragraph was discussing about the indifferent instrumental cause. Okay, udasin nimit. So this dharma dravya, adharma dravya, akash dravya, and kal dravya. Okay, all the four substances are indifferent instrumental cause. Okay, so if a soul and a matter, okay, if they want to move, then ether, which is called medium of motion, acts as a nimit, instrumental cause. Okay, so it's written there that dharma dravya, adharma dravya, not in this paragraph, but in the previous paragraph, you can just see that self-moving. The word written here is that
self-moving jeev and pudgal.
Self-moving. So if they want to move, this jeev and pudgal, then dharma dravya is nimit. Okay. So it is not that the dharma dravya is affecting their movement. If they want to move, they will act as a instrumental cause. And if they want to take rest, then only it will act as a instrumental cause. So it is not that these four substances, dharma, adharma, space, and time, are affecting any action in any other substance. Okay, it is not like that. If the other substance wants to move, then medium of motion could be an instrumental cause. If it wants to rest, then medium of rest could be an instrumental cause. If it wants space, then space could be an instrumental cause. And whatever movements it's happening in that substance, it is because of the time substance, instrumentality of time substance. So this 4 acts as a only indifferent
Instrumental.
Nimit. And
Okay.
the teacher teaching the student is an motivational instrumental cause. And these are all indifferent instrumental cause. But when we consider the action that has taken place, all are instrumental cause. Okay. It is not that motivational is doing something in the substance, nothing. Motivational instrumental cause is again an instrumental cause only, just like medium of motion and medium of rest, etc. Okay. So as far as the action has taken place, all these substance acts as an instrumental cause, nothing more. Okay. When we consider only from the instrumental cause of instrumental cause aspect, then we can say that motivational instrumental cause are a different kind of instrumental cause than the indifferent instrumental cause, just as in the case of a teacher. Okay. So there is chalk, blackboard, benches, classroom, all these are indifferent instrumental cause. And teacher is a motivational instrumental cause. But as far as the knowledge of the student goes, whatever he acquires from the class, all are instrumental cause. Okay. So this is what here it is emphasized on. And the previous example, that an ignorant person cannot be made knowledgeable through external factors. External factors means instrumental cause.
Teacher.
Okay. And similarly, a knowledgeable person cannot be made an ignorant through the same external instrumental cause. Okay. So similar to what dharmastikai means dharmadravya. Okay. Similar to what dharmastika is to Jeev and Pudgal, that move by themselves. Okay. So when we say instrumental cause, it is all of the same category. Okay. Although we have made distinction like motivational instrumental cause and indifferent instrumental cause, then external instrumental cause and internal instrumental cause, then primary and secondary instrumental cause, then ordinary and specific instrumental cause, and the last one was due to presence and due to absence. So all these are instrumental causes of different kinds. But as far as the action is concerned, all are under one category. Okay. It is just that when we analyze the action, any action, we look at all kinds of causes, whether it is instrumental cause or it is the principal cause. We look at all the causes, but as far as the action has been taken place, it is because of the principal cause and not the instrumental cause. Okay. So principal cause is directly responsible for the action, and instrumental cause acts just as an instrument, mere presence. Okay. But again, that mere presence is mandatory. Okay. It is not that things will happen without nimit also. Okay. So you have to understand everything in the correct perspective. So still the discussion on instrumental cause will go on with few of the examples, and then we will move on to another topic. Okay. So continue. Who will read next? 1 minute. Malti ji, you read.
So I don't have the printout and it's very difficult to read from the screen.
Okay.
Then it gets delayed.
So I will share another copy today. This draft, it is written with watermark that has been removed. So I will send. So if you are taking a printout, you take printout of the one that I shared today.
Printout, sir, it is written draft only there. It's written there. I've got the printout. I think I'll read it then as much as I can.
Okay.
So just a moment, sir.
So I'll share another copy today that is without this draft watermark.
Yeah. We are on page 9, right?
Page
10.
Question.
Question. You can see on the screen.
Just a second. It's on the. I can't see
Not
that. I think
Right.
it's better somebody else reads it unless I delete.
Okay, okay, no problem. So Soumya,
Yes, sir, I will read.
yeah.
Question. It is not appropriate to deny the usefulness of a teacher in the education of students. Without Deshna Labdhi, that is listening to and grasping Jinnah's teachings, it is impossible to attain Samyaktva, that is enlightenment. Bhagwan Mahavir, in his earlier life as a loin, received sermons from Charan Riddhidhari Munis. That is Muniraj who has manifested the ability to travel through the sky and attained Samyak Darshan. This resulted in that Jeev in the future becoming Bhagwan Mahavir. So, how can Nimitt in the form of a sermon be denied? Answer. Who denies the role of Updesh, guidance or teaching as a Nimitta cause? It is certainly the Kartavya, Kartritva, doership of the Nimitta that is denied. Just as a student's study is not possible without a teacher, likewise, study is also not possible without a lamp and books. In the learning process, the teacher, the lamp, and the books all play a useful role. If this were not so, then why would lamps be lit, books written, universities established, and why would the position of Upadhyaya, that is spiritual teacher, even exist among monks? So, if rejection of Nimitta was being advocated, then the aforementioned questions would indeed arise. But who is denying the existence of Nimitta? But it is worth considering that if Atma benefits solely through teachings, then many souls listen to sermons. But why are they all not benefiting? Many students study in a single classroom. The teacher teaching them is the same, the book is the same, and light is also present, yet all do not become scholars. Everyone becomes knowledgeable according to their own abilities. Similarly, in the Samavcharan, that is circular assembly for listening to omniscient Tirthankar's divine speech, many individuals listen to Dharmopadesh, that is religious teachings, together. But not all become Samyak Drishti, that is experience of the self-soul, Vrati, observer of the vows, or Sadhu, ascetics. Each transforms according to their ability to transform. Therefore, it is certain that the Niyamak Karan for any action is one's ability to transform. Think about this. Why did the Jeev of Bhagwan Mahavir not attain liberation as the life of Marichi? Was there a lack of appropriate nimittas there? His father was Bharat Chakravarti and the grandfather was Bhagwan Rishabhdev, the originator of the path of Dharma. But after hearing the sermon of Bhagwan Rishabhdev in the Samavcharan, he manifested opposing thoughts. Were there any shortcomings in the sermon? Was the guidance of Charan Riddhidhari's Munis better than the teachings of Bhagwan Rishabhdev? This proves that when Paryayagat Upadan is ready, then Karya, that is effect, takes place. And at that time, suitable limit is also present. There is no need to actively seek it. Where are the possibility of a sermon in a dense forest as the life of a cruel lion? But when its Purusharth, that is effort, manifested, Nimitta came down from the sky. So it is said that Atmarthi, one who seeks Atma, should not anxiously seek Nimittas. Who says that there are no Nimittas? But we do not have to search for Nimittas. When Karya occurs in Upadan, that is substantial cause, then appropriate Nimitta, that is auxiliary cause, is definitely present at that time. Work does not unfold according to Nimitta, but Nimitta is present according to the work done. On seeing the lifeless body of a prostitute, a Ragi, one with attachments, feels Rag, that is attachment, and Vairagi, one who is passionless, feels Vairagya, detachment. That prostitute is said to be the Nimitta in Rag of Ragi and Vairag of Vairagi. if the arising of karya, that is effect, would be according to nimitta, then all those who see her should either have raga or vairaga. Acharya Pandit Todarmalji says, Paradravya, that is non-self substance, does not forcefully spoil, but when one's bhav, that is thoughts, are spoiled, then that too is outer nimitta. Furthermore, bhav is spoiled even without this nimitta. So these cannot be assumed to be permanent, consistent nimitta either. Thus, perceiving faults in paradravya, that is non-self substance, is mithya bhav, that is false or erroneous notion or belief. Neither does nimitta forcefully act upon upadan, nor does upadan forcefully bring or join any nimitta. They have an effortless relationship with each other. The effortless connection between namittika, that is instrumental substantial cause, and affluent cause, is explained by Pandit Todarmalji in this way. If karma, that is karmic matter particles, by effort becomes a doer and obstructs the nature of jiva, combines with outer non-self material, then karma should possess chetana, that is sentience and strength. However, it is not so. There is an effortless nimitta-naimittic relationship. When it is time for those karmas to manifest, at that time, Atma does not transform in accordance with its swabhav, that is true nature, but rather undergoes a modified transformation. Similarly, other dravyas, that is substances, align and transform in their respective relationships. Just as at the time of sunrise, there is an association of male-female birds, they were not separated at night by someone with malicious intent or by force. In the day, no one with compassionate intent brought them together. With sunset as nimitta, they themselves separate, and with sunrise as nimitta, they themselves come together. This kind of nimitta-naimittic relationship, that is instrumental substantial cause and affluent cause, is occurring. Similarly, one should understand the nimitta-naimittic disposition of karma. The nimitta-naimittic relationship is a natural, effortless relationship, and presenting it as a relationship of karta-karma, that is cause-effect, is inappropriate. Refuting the notion of relationship of doership with non-self, Acharya Amritchand writes, sir, I will skip this one and directly go to. Should I read it, sir? I have the Hindi version also.
Yeah, you can read if you want.
Sir, on Hindi, I will have to search for the page number.
Then leave it. Then leave it. Then leave it. You just go ahead with English one. Yeah.
अतो न निश्चयतः परेण सहात्मनः कारकत्व संबंधोस्ति यतः शुद्धात्म स्वभाव सामग्री मार्गण व्यग्रतया परतंत्रैर्भूर्यते. So it means, therefore, by nishchay, that is absolute truth, there is no relationship of non-self with karakta, that is doer of Atma. However, it is unclear why Jeev, who wishes to attain the benefit of pure self-realization, becomes anxiously dependent on others. In the meaning of this verse, it is clarified in the manner mentioned above. Dravya itself is complete with the abundance of its own infinite efficacies. Hence, it is the capability of modifying itself as the six karakas, that is causative cases, to do the karya. No external materials can help it. Thus, it is futile for the Jeev aspiring for Keval Jnana, that is omniscience, to be dependent upon external elements with any exception. In regard
with any
to
expectation, with any expectation.
Elements with any expectation. In regard to swabhav bhavas, that is intrinsic dispositions, there is no doership by another, nor is such external doership affirmed even in vibhav bhavas, that is extrinsic dispositions. This is clearly explained in Samay Vyakhya, a commentary of Acharya Amrit Chandra on verse 62 of the Panchastikaya Sangraha, explaining the meaning of the Tika, that is commentary. The main text in the Bhavartha, that is summary, is as follows. In this manner, in the activity of transformation of Pudgal through karmic manifestation or karmic bondage, In reality, Pudgal itself modifies as the 6 karakas, that is causatives or cases. Hence, it does not have any requirement of other or external karakas. As for Jiva's action from Audaik Kadi Bhavaroop se Parinamit, that is inclinations born as a result of manifestation of karma. In reality, the Jeev itself modifies as the 6 karakas. Hence, it does not have any hence it does not have any requirement of other or external karakas. The above activities of Pudgal and Jeev occur simultaneously. Despite that, the 6 karakas of the actions of Pudgal are completely separate and independent from the 6 karakas of Jiva, and 6 karakas of the actions of Jiva are completely separate and independent from the 6 karakas of Pudgal. In reality, no karakas of any substance is dependent on the karakas of any other substance. From the above explanation, it is extremely clear that Bhagwan Atma modifies according to its own ability in its individual self-time in the form of pure modification of Samyak Darshana Jnana Charitra or as Vikari Paryay, that is impure modification of attachment, etc. And there is no interference from or by any non-self, that is Nimitta, in it. Yes, it is definitely so that when Atma modifies in the form of pure modifications of Samyak Darshan, etc., or as impure modification of attachment, etc., as per the ability of its own nature and its own modification, at that time there will be the presence of appropriate nimitta. So to say that effect will not arise without nimitta is also not wrong. But this statement merely shows the inevitable presence of nimitta and nothing more. But it is important to remember that the inevitability of the presence of nimitta does not mean that it should be believed to be the karta, that is doer, or the sadhak atma, that is
Sadhaktam. Sadhaktam.
sadhaktam, or
Hmm.
the sadhaktam, that is primary operative cause. Nimitta is always in the
Stop.
form of
Okay. So initially we were discussing about instrumental cause, and in that one example was given that the dead body of a prostitute. Okay. So on seeing the lifeless body, that means a dead body of a prostitute, a ragi, one with attachment, feels rag, and vairagi, one who is passionless, feels vairagya. So an example in some other script was given that dead body of a prostitute was lying on the road and 3 people passed by. A thief, a person with strong sexual desire, and a monk. Okay. So when the thief saw the prostitute, he thought that the jewelry that the prostitute is wearing, if I would have got that, I would have been benefited. The monk thought that whether this soul has done his spiritual development or not, he was worried about that. And the person with strong sexual desire was thinking that how good it would have been if I would have physical encounter with that prostitute. Okay. So it's the same object, but 3 different person and 3 different modifications. Okay. So that goes on to prove that things doesn't happen according to instrumental cause. Instrumental cause is just a presence, nothing else. It is never a participatory party to the action that is being taken place. Okay. So we come to the conclusion, work does not unfold according to nimit, but nimit is present according to the work done. Okay. So there are 2-3 things that we can make out from this. Okay, nimit will always come. So there is no entity in this universe called nimit. When the action is taken place, whatever is suitable at that point of time is considered as a instrumental cause or nimit. Okay. So work does not unfold according to nimit. according to the instrumental cause. On the contrary, the instrumental cause is present according to the work done. Okay. So this is the final thing about the instrumental cause, that any action to take place, there will always be a presence of an instrumental cause. At the same time, instrumental cause is not directly responsible for the action being done. This is the balance. This is the non-absolutism, anekant. Okay. And this is something we should understand. So we pay due respect to the presence of instrumental cause also. And having said that, we don't consider it to be a doer of the action. Okay. This is the final statement on instrumental cause. Todermalji has given his own opinion about instrumental cause, and he says that non-self substance does not forcefully spoil, but when one's thoughts are spoiled, then that too is outer nimitt, outer instrumental cause, external instrumental cause. Furthermore, sometimes the external factor is also not there, but still the thoughts changes. Okay. So that is not an even instrumental cause in that scene. Okay. So this cannot be assumed to be permanent or consistent nimitt either. Okay. Thus, perceiving faults in pardravya, non-self substance, is mithya bhav, false belief. Okay. So neither does nimitt forcefully act upon upadan, that is the principal cause, or nor does principal cause forcefully bring or join any instrumental cause. They have an effortless, sahaj, okay? They have an effortless relationship with each other. Sahaj, automatic, natural. The effortless connection between nimitt, namitic is explained by Todermalji. Again, if karmic matter particles by effort becomes a doer and obstructs the nature of jeev, okay, then combines with outer non-self material, then karma should possesses chaitanya, sentience and strength. But is it not so? The karma is a matter substance. It does not possess sentience and it also does not possess strength. Okay. There is an effortless nimitt-namitic relationship. That's all. When it is time for those karma to manifest, at that time, soul does not transform in accordance with its true nature, inherent nature, intrinsic nature, but rather undergoes a modified transformation, unnatural transformation, impure transformation. Okay. Similarly, other substances align and transform in their respective relationship. Okay. So all this leads us to a conclusion that whenever an action takes place, there will be 5 causes. Okay. But the ultimate cause would be the momentarily eligibility of the modification, the momentary eligibility of the momentum. Okay. So that is the final say on this whole discussion of principal and instrumental cause. Okay. So we explored about instrumental cause and we realized that it is not the doer of the work. Then we moved on to the eternal principal cause. It is always present, so action should always take place, but it does not take place. So that also has been ruled out. Okay. Then we moved on to immediate prior modification and the eligibility of the moment. And out of those two, the immediate prior modification states the effort. Okay. And the eligibility of the moment is a controlling or the regulating cause for the action that has taken place. Rest all is all repetitions only. There is nothing new.
So,
Now,
so I didn't understand this sentence. If karma by effort becomes a doer and obstructs the nature of jeev, combines with outer non-self material, then karma should possess chaitanya and strength. So what does this mean?
so karma is a matter substance, right?
Right.
And a matter substance does not have the desire to do any action, because matter substance is not a chaitanya, right? It's a non-living thing. Matter substance is a non-living thing, so it does not have this consciousness, okay? The chaitanya, that is what it said, and it does not have the strength also, okay? It is just merely an instrumental cause, okay? Merely an instrumental cause. It does not, it has not got the capacity to transform any other substance, okay? So if we consider karma, like why you are sad now, Himali? You said because of karma, okay? So that means karma is a doer, no? But here it says karma is not a doer. If karma would have been a doer, then it should possess the quality of consciousness. And it should also have strength. But it does not have the strength also, and it does not possess the quality of consciousness also. It is just an instrumental cause, just the presence, okay? So never consider instrumental cause to be a doer of any action. That is what it wants to convey, okay? So you cannot just put the blame on the karma. Why I am sad? Because of the karma. No, you are sad because of your inability to comprehend things, how the things are happening in the universe. Each substance is independent, each attributes is independent, and each modification is independent. If you are not able to understand these three words, okay, the unchangeability of the substance, the unchangeability of the attributes, okay, independence of the attributes, independence of the substance, and independence of each modification, okay? So when you very nicely understand these three things and realize its true nature, then you will never consider anybody to be a doer of anything happening in yourself, okay? So if I am sad, it is because of my inability to comprehend things in the correct manner, and that's why I'm sad. There is no cause to be sad for anyone in this universe. We are all getting sadness because of our expectation that my son should perform in such a way. This is your expectation, and he performs on his own independence. Even in your son, there are two things. One is the soul, that is only an observer, and the other is body, which has already been programmed, and it is working according to that, right? And because of your expectation, you are feeling sad that, oh, he didn't do nice, he's all the time playing this blame game, my husband also does not understand, and my in-laws also pamper him a lot. You know, you could find 100 of excuses, but the fact is you are bleeding. When we manifest passions, we are the first person who is getting hurt. Others will get hurt according to their karmas. You may scold his son, but he is happy on his own. He doesn't listen to your scoldings. Why? Because he is an independent entity. Your scolding is not affecting him. It will affect on its own eligibility, right? So, net, we are sad not because of karma, but because of our inability to comprehend the nature of things. Nature of things means nature of substance, the nature of attributes, and the nature of modification. Each is independent, okay? And just creating the expectations, again, expectation is a passion, okay? So when you create an expectation, you are yourself first hurting yourself, your soul, you know, yourself means your soul, okay? Any passions manifesting in the soul is a cause of grief to the soul. Okay. So why can't you accept as things happen? Why such expectations? Because everyone knows that the thing will happen according to the eligibility of the moment. Okay. Now, yesterday in the newspaper, there was an article that one 18-year-old, what is his name? Gukesh. He won the World Chess Championship, right? Now, 18-year-old, and it was around 12, 15 years ago that somebody, Vishwanath Anand, won a chess title. And thus this. So that is the eligibility of that person, you know. That's the momentarily eligibility of the person. So whatever action is taking place around us, it is all the eligibility of the moment. Okay. It is not that somebody is doing something. It's nobody is doing anything. And just because when you understand all these things, your expectation will tone down. You may scold your son. You may try to prepare him for the exam. But at the end of the day, if the result is not according to your expectation, you don't feel sad because you have already comprehended everything, you know, that the momentarily eligibility is the primary cause and the eligibility is not there, so it will not happen. If the chess grandmaster has to win, it's win. And that was the last match. And there was some mistake that the other person did. So it's, if the eligibility is there, even your brain, everything will not work because the eligibility is not there. You will make silly mistakes. In the exams also, must have, and you were knowing the answer, but you still made a silly mistake. And then while you have submitted the paper, you remember, oh, I did that mistake. But it has already been submitted. That was the eligibility of the moment. Many a times in the past, we have seen this, that the topper of the class, who is always an expert, he knows everything, okay, he or she. But still, at the time of exam, he makes silly mistakes, which is not normal to him or her, right? But eligibility of the moment is independent. Okay, so we have to comprehend all these factors to be in ourselves in every situation in life. Okay, if this happens according to your desire, you don't feel great. And if it does not happen also, you don't feel dejected. And that is called vitrakta, passionlessness. And this is something that comes gradually. It is not an overnight thing that is going to come. As you keep on studying, understanding the principles and understanding the application of those principles, these things will automatically come. Okay. So this is just the beginning. So as you more practice and comprehend and understand and contemplate, you will realize that, oh, everything is happening on its own independently. And we are unnecessarily being bothered by becoming a doer. Okay. So this is the analysis. The whole analysis is about this, that who is responsible for the action. Okay. So the ultimate answer is the eligibility of the moment. Okay. And before that, the process is the controlling factor for the effort. Okay. Purusharth. Okay. And the eternal principal cause is the controlling factor that the action will take place in this particular substance. So we have three controlling factors and the other causes just are there. Okay. But three are controlling factors. One is the eternal principal cause, which says that the action will take place in this particular substance. There is immediate prior modification, which states that this will be the process that will be followed for the action to take place, and the action itself, which is the eligibility of the moment. Okay. So this is all. I hope everything is clear. If any doubts persist, you can always ask. Okay. And
So the meaning of bhavitavya is the regulatory factor, no?
Bhavitavya. Bhavitavya is destiny.
Destiny.
Okay.
So this nimit, nemitic.
Yes.
Is nemitic the upadan?
No. Nemitic is the action.
Okay.
First class only we have studied about this upadan, upade and nimit, nemitic. The one that the action that has taken place from the principal cause side, we call it as upade. And same thing from the instrumental cause side, we call it nemitic.
Yeah. You said
And
that.
what is this nemitic in English? Desired action. Okay. So action is common. So from the principal cause side, it is called upade, and from the nimit side, it is called nemitic. But action is the same. Only the terminology differs, because when we want to show that the action has taken place in a particular substance, we call it from upadan side. Okay. And when we want to show two substance, relationship between two substance, we say nimit, nemitic, because nimit is always an external substance. Okay. And nemitic is the action that has taken place in this particular substance. And external substance is just mere presence, nothing more. Okay. So, okay. So we'll now finish this last part. Yes, we were on to so one other discussion that came up was about the 6 cases. We have already studied about 6 cases. Okay. So for explaining the whole cause and effect relationship, Karan Karya, there are 3 types of Karan. One is the one that we are studying now, the instrumental cause and the principal cause. The second category is the 5 samvai. Okay. And the third is the 6 cases. Okay. In 6 cases also we discuss about the causes. Okay. So any activity that is happening in the Pudgal, okay, it is because of the 6 cases that Pudgal, that 6 cases of the Pudgal itself. Okay. And any activity taking place in the soul is because of its own 6 cases. Okay. So cases means causes. Okay. Causatives or cases is same thing. Okay. So the causes are explained in 3 ways. Okay. One is the nimit upadan, one is 5 samvai, and one is 6 cases. Okay. But the action is the same in all the 3 cases. Only these 3 are different terminology being used to show the causes. Okay. But it is all same. Okay. So we were here. Nimitti is always in the form of non-self substance. That is where we need to start and finish. One more page, I suppose. Yeah. 2 pages. Right. So,
so I can read it now.
Okay, then you read it.
Nimit is always in the form of non-self substance. This has been explained explicitly in the statement below from the Doha 4 of Upadan Nimit Doha written by Banarsi Das. उपादान निज गुण जहां तहम निमित्त परा हुए उपादान निज गुण जहां तहम निमित्त para hoy. Where the inherent qualities are of the upadan, the nimit exists as something external. If nimit is believed to be karta, that is the doer or the cause of the sadhaktam karma, the primary agent, then by believing one substance to be the karta of another substance, the independent existence of substance is impeded. In reference to the above, the statement below from Janat Tattvam Mimamsa is worth examining. If origination of every modification of substance is assumed to be according to only outer limits, it would imply that each entity is inherently dependent on others for its nature. In such a case, the state of bondage liberation, the transformation of Parmanu, that is the smallest unit of physical matter, and the other four dravyas as per their nature, and the constant samsara, worldly existence of abhavya, those who will never attain moksha, durandar bhavya, those who are not abhavya but are unlikely to attain moksha, would become untenable. Therefore, in each dravya, there should be an arrangement in the form of its own inherent swabhav and other forms of causes through which the origination and decay at each samay occur independently. The distinct intrinsic causes for each specific moment are acknowledged in the scriptures as the Nishchay Upadan, absolute substantial cause. This makes it clear that for each action at each moment, Nishchay Upadan, that is the absolute substantial cause, is certain. To deny the established arrangement based on sensory perception, arrangements, and experience is to undermine the very karya-karan, cause-effect relationship intrinsic to each substance. I consider this the greatest offense as it shows disregard for the scriptures. Each substance by nature is inherently transformative. When every substance, despite being eternal, constantly undergoes transformation, then why should it require the dependency on eternal substances for its transformation? After all, inherent nature is self-sufficient. That which relies on the external, how can it be considered true nature? Nimittas, that is the auxiliary cause, are divided into antaranga nimittas, inner auxiliary cause, and bahuranga nimittas, outer auxiliary cause. Main nimittas are said to be antarang nimitta, and secondary nimitta are said to be the bahurang nimitta. In bondage of karma, thoughts of attachment, aversion are antarang nimitta, and activities of mind, speech, body is said to be the bahirang nimitta. Similarly, in gyan of substances, shayopsham, annihilation comes subsidence of karma, of jnanavarni karma, karma obstructing jnana is antarang nimit, and senses, light, etc. are said to be the bahurang nimit. In the manifestation of samyak darshan, that is the right belief, kashay, annihilation, shayopsham, and upsham, subsidence of darshan mohaniya karma, karma obstructing right belief, is antarang nimit, and sermon of guru is said to be the bahirang nimit.
Stop. So this is not kashay, this is shy. Annihilation is destruction.
Right.
It is
Right,
shy.
right.
Okay. So because of the Hindi words, there is some confusion. Okay. So in this particular example, we were discussing here the instrumental cause of two types, external and internal. Okay. So in this particular example, the primary instrumental cause is called to be the internal instrumental cause, and the secondary instrumental cause is said to be the external external instrumental cause. In bondage of karma, okay, when you bound karma, thoughts of attachment, aversion are internal, antarang, internal instrumental cause, and activities of mind, speech, and body, which you can see out from outside also, is said to be the external instrumental cause. Very clear? Similarly, in Gyan, that is knowledge of substance, Shayopsham is annihilation cum subsidence, destruction cum subsidence of karma, of Jnanavarana karma. Okay. Knowledge obstructing karma is internal. Okay. So karmas are always an internal instrumental cause, and the external instrumental cause is the that what we can see from outside, because karma we can't see, but the external instrumental cause we can see. Okay. So is antarang nimit, and senses, light, etc. are said to be external instrumental cause. In the manifestation, third example, in the manifestation of right belief, annihilation, destruction, and shayopsham. Shayopsham is destruction come subsidence, and upsam, that is subsidence of darshan karma. So there are three ways where we manifest right belief, and the three samyak darshan are named as upsham, shayopsham, and shaik. Okay, three types of samyak darshan. So upsham is the subsidence of darshan monia karma, and shayopsham is a subsidence come destruction of darshan monia karma, and the third one is shaik. Shaik means complete destruction of the darshan monia karma. So these are the three types of samyak darshan, and these three karmas are the antarang nimit, internal instrumental cause, and sermon of guru, okay, is said to be the external instrumental cause. So this is again a division of instrumental cause only. So nimit, whether it is external or internal, whether it is motivational or indifferent, whether it is primary or secondary, all are at the end of the day instrumental cause only. And the origination of the action, slightly up, you take slightly up, not, sorry, down. Yeah. Further down. Down. Yes. Right. 1 minute, I have to see from my page. Yeah. Okay. So nimit, be it external or internal, motivational or indifferent, are only instrumental cause only, and in the origination of action, any kind of instrumental cause is all same. Okay, so that we have already discussed earlier, so I'm not elaborating on that. Now, so from here we have to read, right? Though modification of attachments of Atma from there. Right. So the last part, okay. Himali, you read only.
Though modification of attachment, etc., of Atma and Uday, origination, Shay and Shayopsham, annihilation and annihilation come subsidence, and Upsam, which is subsidence of karma, are said to be in the form of Antaranga, which is internal, Nimitta. It is benefiting to understand the following as said by Acharya Amrit Chandraji. Does somebody want to read the Hindi bit?
No need to carry on. The adverse sentiments.
The adverse sentiments such as attachments, etc., arising in the Jeev act merely as nimittas in the self-transformation of other Pudgal aggregates into karma of Jnana Varnya, which is knowledge obstructing karma, etc. Similarly, when Atma modifies independently as attachments, etc., then manifestation of Pudgal karma is merely nimit. In the above statement, with the phrase Swameva Parinamate, modification by itself,
Modifying by itself,
Acharya Amritchandji has made it clear that every substance modifies by itself according to the ability of its own upadan. In its modification, other substances are merely nimit. In the above context, the following statement is also noteworthy. One should understand by nature that what is termed as a nimit in the agam does not in reality assist in the creation of another's karya, even in the slightest. Nevertheless, believing that an action cannot occur without its assistance, is what is termed Adhyavasana Bhav, a mental conviction or fixation due to ignorance. Each entity negates this on its own at the time of its action, as the transformation of all jada, which is inanimate, and chetna, which is sentient, entities occur independently of any external influence. Still, the attributes such as Visheshna, Vishesh Bhavya, which is adjectival relationship, Nimit, Nimitika, causal and effectual relations, and Adhar and Adharya, the supported relationship, acknowledged between two distinct entities, are all understood only through Asadbhuta Vyavhar Naya, which is unrealistic perspective for practical convention. In reality, there is no true connection between them. Therefore, wherever in the Agams it is stated that anger arises in Jeev due to manifestation of Charitra karma, which is karma matter which obstructs right conduct, there it should be understood as merely a contextual statement in relation to time. That is, at that time when Charitra karma manifests, Krodh independently and simultaneously manifests as a result of Charitra, which is conduct deluding state. In both the cases, from the view of Paramarth, which is transcendental highest truth, karma did not assist in the origination of anger, and disposition of anger did not help in the manifestation of the karma. Both transformed independently and without the requirement of the other. Nevertheless, due to the Kal Pratyasati, which is close proximity of the time of occurrence of both, keeping in mind the intent of particularity, this asadbhuta vyavhar, which is non-factual false conventionality, is articulated, and it is said that due to manifestation of karma of anger, the disposition of anger occurs. The underlying meaning is that when upadan has the ability to modify into karma, it does so by itself.
Karya is action.
Sorry. The underlying meaning is that when upadan has the ability to modify into karya, it does so by itself. External associations are nimit to it at that very moment. But as a rule, the external material that has assumed the role of nimit aligns with the karya of the dravya serving as upadan, resulting in an external alignment. This is what is called as Kal Pratyasati, which is temporal proximity. If external associations were to be taken as real reasons, then the way a parrot starts reading due to his inherent ability when he has appropriate external associations. Similarly, despite the absence of inherent ability, a crane should also start reading on getting the appropriate external association. But even after much effort on the strength of external limit, a crane cannot read and a parrot can. With this, it can be understood that external associations are merely nimit. Whatever karya occurs does so when the proximity of paryay, which is modification, attains the ability to do so. For this reason, Bhatta Kalanka Dev, while describing the characteristics of Daiva, which is fate or destiny, wrote in his commentary, Astasati, Puratam, Karma, Yogatva, Sa, Daivam, meaning the previous karma and capability. These two are called Daiva. Look in the 14th Gunastan, stage of evolution. There's manifestation of Astavedniya karma. Astavedniya.
Asata Vedniya.
So what does that mean?
Asata Vedniya means unpleasant feeling producing karma.
But there's no manifestation of suffering or its experience. This is because at that time there was absence of that ability in the Dravya Paryay of that Jeev. With this, the principle derived is that the presence of external associations or their activities is not niyamaka, which is the defining reason of karya, which is effect. Only the intrinsic capability, yogatya, related to the substance state, dravya paryay, acts as the niyamaka, which is determinant of the karya, as the effect is consistently observed to arise immediately on the presence of upadana. Therefore, in conclusion, it should be understood that each dravya, being inherently self-transformative and eternal, performs its actions on its own. That is the reality. The causal, which is nimitta, acknowledged in the occurrence of karya, is accepted only from the perspective of the asadbhuta vyavhar, which is non-factual conventional view, and not in Paramarth. Therefore, even though statements of Nishchayanan, which is viewpoint of absolute truth, are from the view of Samyak Ekant, which is true singularity, it actually established Anekant, which is multiplicity of perspective. However, if one accepts the assistance of another as a reality as per the view presented by Asadbhuta Vyavharane, then in terms of Paramarth, ultimate reality, it essentially negates the very principle of anekant, which is multiplicity of perspectives. From the above explanation, it has been clarified that in the origination of karya, what is the role of nimit and upadan? When this topic is considered impartially, free from bias, inclination, no grounds for dispute remain. The root cause of philosophical debates regarding fundamental principles is the lack of deep study and understanding in the Jinvani, which is the teachings of the omniscient. So, the only way to safeguard from all philosophical debates about fundamental principles is to have an in-depth study of Jinvani. Not for resolving all philosophical debates about the fundamental principles, but also as the primary refuge for self-realization, Jinvani stands as the supreme guide.
So, different references were given from different acharyas and from different text. So, it is looking a bit confusion, but what we have discussed, that is all, everything has been covered. I don't see anything that we have left over. Only the words change because of different acharya. Now, here a word was being used as kal pratyashati. Okay. Kal pratyashati means just a coincidence, right? Some action is taking place here and some action is taking place here, but it is at the same time. So it is just a temporal proximity of the actions. Okay, so something is take place here and something is taking place here, but it is at the same time, so it is called kal pratyasi. But that does not mean that any other substance is influencing or doing anything in any other substance. Each is manifesting on its own, each is transforming on its own, and this is what we have to understand and accept, so as not to see one substance a doer of another substance. And when we see in this perspective, from this perspective, we don't manifest attachments and aversions. And if we don't manifest attachments and aversion, we are automatically manifesting passionlessness, vitrakta. Okay, and this is the true religion. So this principle of principal cause and instrumental cause also leads us to vitrakta, which is our ultimate objective. So all said and done, now when you sit to write concept clarity paper 3 on this particular topic, okay, so one thing you have to do is prepare a chart, okay, that I've already shared, and you just copy it out. If you want to add anything to that, you can always welcome. And this is all for your own understanding and benefit. So tomorrow you may forget the names and everything, but just as you would see your concept clarity, you will see that you have included all the main points in that. So now we will be discussing something on the instrumental cause. Today's discussion was more on instrumental causes. So the question is that if the instrumental cause is not directly participating in the action, then why the so much importance has been given to instrumental cause? This is the question, okay? And based on this question, we will be discussing 10-15 points, okay? So you can listen to it right now, and then again you come back to this recording and write down these points, and this will be very helpful when you write concept clarity, okay? So this is just like doing a PhD in a particular subject, okay? So now we will be discussing from that perspective. The basis is the pravachan done by Pandit Sumat Prakash ji 25 years ago in Mumbai. There were 36 lectures on Nimit Upadan, okay? And there was a detailed discussion of each of the topics, and I am just highlighting some of the points from those lectures which I had listened live, and the recording is also available, but it is all in Hindi. I can share the link. You can access the recording, and I will share also a chart related to that. It's a very big chart which I have not we have not taught you here because unnecessarily it will confuse you. But those who want to pursue further and want to go deep into this topic, you can access to that also. But as far as our syllabus is concerned, as far as our knowledge is concerned, what we have discussed in the class is more than enough to make you understand that action always takes place because of the principal cause, and instrumental cause is just a mere presence. But you cannot deny the presence of instrumental cause, okay? It is not doing actively anything in the action, but having said that, the presence will always be there, okay? So we are now discussing some important points on instrumental cause only, okay? So first, the definition. So the definition that for any action that is taking place, instrumental cause is just a suitable factor, suitable cause in that action, but it is not directly participating into the action. That is the definition of nimit, okay? So when we perform any action, okay, then only we consider something as an instrumental cause. But if there is no action, there is no cause. So that takes us to the point that there is nothing in the universe as an entity of instrumental cause, okay? Only when the action takes place, something we consider as instrumental cause, okay? So the instrumental cause is not a substance, instrumental cause is not an attribute, instrumental cause is not a modification, okay? It is just according to the action we give, we consider that the instrumental cause as a mere presence, okay? So next point. So any action that takes place, it cannot happen without the instrumental cause, and it does not happen with the instrumental cause also, okay? So instrumental cause is not directly responsible in the action, but we cannot deny the presence of instrumental cause. Why so much discussion about instrumental cause? Because we should know what is the true instrumental cause, okay? And a true instrumental cause leads us to the principal cause, okay? So somebody wants to become a doctor, he has to take admission in medical college and not an engineering college, okay? So the discussion on instrumental cause just creates an awareness in us that if you want to achieve particular action, what could act as an instrumental cause. So you're becoming a doctor, the medical college would be an instrumental cause. So you should take admission in medical college and not an engineering college. That is the role of the instrumental cause, okay? another point, that for each and every person, there could be different instrumental cause. Okay. So, as for example, for Marichi, his grandfather, Tirthankar Adinath, did not become an instrumental cause, although he was a Tirthankar. And there is not a great entity which is greater than an Tirthankar, okay, in terms of instrumental cause, okay. But Marichi did not manifest right belief in the presence of Tirthankar Adinath, because for each person the nimit is different. But when he was in the birth of a lion, two sky-clad Digambar saint became an instrumental cause for his right belief. So somebody would get motivated by, so now in this particular 2024 batches, there are 6 batches running, I suppose, in the whole Parmagam honors course. So all the students are getting the same kind of knowledge, but all different teachers are being instrumental cause for different students. Okay. So for each particular individual, there could be different instrumental causes, not the same instrumental cause for each and every one. Instrumental cause is always an external substance that we should remember. Okay. Instrumental cause is not the doer of action. That also we should understand. It is always just the mere presence. Okay. Instrumental cause is seen, but principal cause cannot be seen. Right. The momentarily eligibility is not seen, but the instrumental cause is always seen. Okay. So if you come first in the class just because of your momentarily eligibility, okay, but what could be seen, that he or she has attended Parmagam honors course and that's why he's so much knowledgeable. But Parmagam honors course is just an instrumental cause, so that could be seen, but the internal eligibility of that particular person is not seen. Okay. So that's why there are so many statements from the perspective of instrumental cause in Jinvani. In fact, 99% of the statements in Jinvani are from the viewpoint of conventional point of view, and all are related to instrumental cause. And that's why people find it difficult to understand the principal cause and instrumental cause. The true instrumental cause always takes you towards the principal cause. Instrumental cause are always innocent, okay? Because there is no such entity as called instrumental cause. It is only the action that takes place, then we consider something as a suitable instrumental cause. We can apply 4 exposition on instrumental cause. Okay. Prathman Yog. First, the Prathman Yog. So from Prathman Yog, we can say that the true Dev Shastra Guru or the Tirthankar is the instrumental cause. From Karnan Yog or the exposition on technical matters, we say that the absence of karma is the instrumental cause. Okay. So all the karma related theory is Karnan Yog. Then Charnan Yog. Charnan Yog says that you should have awareness about the true instrumental cause. Okay. And you should go towards those instrumental cause, true instrumental cause, to get your desired action. As we have just discussed that if you want to become a doctor, you have to go to a medical college. And from Dravyan Yoga, which is called the metaphysics, Instrumental cause, the action has taken place not because of the instrumental cause, but because of the momentarily eligibility of the substance. Okay. The next point, when we understand the instrumental cause very clearly, it automatically leads to elimination of 4 major passions. Okay. So why the anger rises? Because when we see somebody as a doer, then the anger rises. But when we see somebody as an instrumental cause, the anger automatically does not arise. Because whatever has happened in this particular substance is just because of his own eligibility and not because of the instrumental cause. So the anger does not arise. Similarly, the pride also does not arise, because when we understand instrumental cause and when we understand that all souls are equal, there is nobody who is better than the other, then automatically the pride does not arise. Similarly, we can relate it to deceit and greed also. Okay. So by understanding the true nature of an instrumental cause, the passions automatically does not arise. The instrumental causes are neutral because they act as a catalyst. They don't participate directly into the action. Okay. And if we understand the true nature of instrumental cause, we also manifest passionlessness in ourselves. So what is the correct knowledge? Praman Gyan. Okay. The Praman Gyan states that the action has taken place not because of only principal cause, but principal cause along with instrumental cause is the by which the action has taken place. So we have to accept the both. We cannot rule out instrumental cause. Okay. And we cannot rule out principal cause also. But when both of them are present, the action takes place. The sermons are not worth adapting, okay, regarding instrumental cause, but they are nevertheless very useful, okay, for the desired action. We cannot change the outer situation, but we can change our internal understanding, okay, and that is what the instrumental cause states us. Okay, instrumental cause states us that we cannot change the situations in our life. Okay, these are all instrumental causes that has come into our life, you know, whether it is some person or it is some karma or it is some bodily action that has taken place, but all these are instrumental cause, and the soul is only an observer and not the doer. Okay. So by understanding this, we can change our thought process and we can comprehend everything that is taking place in the true sense, and then automatically the passions does not arise. Okay. In Hindi we call it paristhithi nahi, manasthiti badlo. Okay. Paristhithi nahi, but manasthiti badlo. So manasthiti is our understanding and paristhiti is the external situation that we are in. We should never fear about discussion on instrumental cause and the knowledge of the instrumental cause. Okay? Because understanding the correct instrumental cause, we can manifest the right belief. So Nimit is just a merely an instrumental cause. It is just the presence. The responsibility for the action is our own. So we should put in right efforts. Okay. And we should not give excuses and blame other things because of which we are not able to manifest that action. So if we understand these things in this way, then because of our own responsibility, we will have to take the efforts. We will have to make the efforts, right efforts, and then only the desired action will take place. Okay. So this was the discussion only on this instrumental cause. So if you think on these points, then you will be able to realize the independent nature of the universe, that is, all the substances are manifesting, transforming on its own, and nobody is harming or interfering in any other substance. All are working independently on its own, and just they become an instrumental cause for each other. Okay. So if there is something happening in the soul, body is the instrumental cause. And if there is something happening in the body, then the soul is the instrumental cause, but never a doer, only an instrumental cause. So this was all about the instrumental cause. Then we want to discuss something on the eligibility of the moment. Okay. This is also very interesting discussion. And when you write your concept clarity, you try to include all these points, then it will be good for you. Okay. Because this is not given somewhere in the textbook. It has been taken from different references. And so eligibility of the moment, first point. Every substance, this is all written in Hindi from where I am translating right now. So directly translation, it is not has been made. Okay. So every substance transforms according to its own eligibility. Okay. Every substance transforms according to its own eligibility of the moment. And the eligibility of the past, the present, and the future is all predestined of each substance. Okay. And when it is predestined, we cannot change it. And when we cannot change it, then our doership automatically stops, and we are able to act as an observer. Okay. And when we act as an observer, we enjoy the most. The happiness flows in. Okay. Only when we become a doer, the anxiety creeps in. Okay. So this was the first point. The second point, if the substance is always eternally pure and attributes are also eternally pure, then why the modification is impure? Can anybody answer? Substance and attributes are eternally pure. Then why the modification is impure? Yeah. Say, Himali.
So because of the bhav.
Because of the bhav. That means?
The thought process.
Okay, because of the thought process. Anyone else? You were trying, Payal? Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe because of thinking that I am the doer and moving away from the knowing, being the knower.
Okay. So that's why the modifications are impure, right? Okay. Anyone else? Soumya?
So same thing only because of a Ragati Bhav Parinam, the
Hmm.
Paryay, the like na, can I say in Hindi? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like रागाति भाव परिणाम के अनुरूप ही द्रव्य, क्योंकि द्रव्य में तो कभी कुछ कर्म अंदर घुसे नहीं या उनको परिणमित करे नहीं, तो जो भी उस पे कॉज आता है वो पर्याय में ही होता है, तो उसके कारण ही पर्याय अशुद्ध कही जाती हैं.
So, anyone else wants to try? So answer is again the eligibility of the moment. Each modification has his inbuilt 6 cases. Okay. Karta, Karam, Karan, Sampradan, Apadan, Adhikaran. And because of these 6 cases, each modification is manifesting on its own. So although the substance and the attributes are eternally pure, the modification still remains impure because the modification is also an independent identity. Okay. Modification is also have its independent existence. Although it is momentary, but it is still independent. And that's why the modification does not follow the eternally substance and attributes, eternal pure substance and attributes, and it also does not get influenced by the instrumental cause, but it takes its own course, the eligibility of the moment. Okay. So द्रव्य गुण शुद्ध होने पर भी अशुद्ध होती है पर्याय because of the षटकारक स्वतंत्रता, independence of 6 cases. Each modification has got its own inbuilt 6 cases, and because of which the action that is taking place in that particular modification is responsible for that and not the substance or the attributes. Okay, this was the answer. Another good point, this will relax you in many ways. सभी योग्यता सभी में नहीं होती, सभी योग्यता सभी में नहीं होती. You just accept, right? Your kid will not come first and that kid will come first because सभी योग्यता सभी में नहीं होती. Everyone is not the same. Okay, so this will relax you. Okay, this will relax you in the sense that your expectations will be toned down. Okay, because सभी योग्यता सभी में नहीं होती है. Everyone's eligibility is different. Okay, so don't expect whatever is happening that you accept. Don't expect something to be like something other. Okay, so when you compare your kids with other kids, then automatically you scold him, you are always after him, you know, कि ये करो वो करो ये करो, and that kid is under depression because of so much pressure from the parents. The other day there was an article in Times of India that even the 7-year-old has to be referred to a psychologist nowadays. There is a lot of pressure because of these reality shows and because of this career-oriented education. There is immense pressure for a kid of 8-year-old. There is so much expectation from the parents that my kid should do this, my kid should be like this, my kid should like be this. And all this has created pressures on the students, and they have to seek now medical psychological advice, you know. And I think most of the schools are also, they have some teacher of that category, psychology. They help them in their mental preparations. So this was that. The next point, Shabda, words, pravarti, activity, vichar, thoughts, does not change the eligibility of the moment. Okay, so Shabd are the words. Words are again a matter substance. Activity is again a mind, speech and body, which is again a matter substance. And thoughts are also not under our control. Okay, so because of your activity, because of your wordings, and because of your thoughts, the eligibility does not change. Okay, eligibility takes its own course, it is independent. Okay, and we are not the eligibility of the moment. Okay, we are only an observer. We are an observer of the eligibility of the moment and not the doer. Okay, so understanding this will relax you, because there are some unwanted thoughts that crops up in anybody. There are some unwanted activity happens in each individual. Okay, and there are some unexpected words that come out, although you are not intending. Okay, so don't take responsibility of anything that is of mind, speech and body. Okay, just be an observer what is happening and not the doer. The next point, राग तत्समय की योग्यता से हुआ, स्वभाव मानना व्यवहाराभासी. Okay, so व्यवहाराभासी is again a false belief only, a certain category of false belief. So rag happens, rag means attachment. Attachment happens because of the momentarily eligibility of the modification. Okay, and if you consider that to be your nature, inherent nature, then again you will manifest false belief. And if you don't acknowledge the shortcomings of the modification, then you will become a nischayabhasi, again a false believer. Okay, real false believer, that was a conventional false believer. Okay, so the final outcome is that there are blemishes in modification, but those blemishes are not the shortcomings of modification. Okay, so the modification is still impure, but that is the because of the momentary eligibility, and it is not something fault of the modification. Okay, because each modification is independent and you accept it as independent, so then there will be no problem. Then the knowledge that comes out every moment from the soul, okay, that is also independent, that has got its independent eligibility. Okay, so one example, a frog had this wish to go to the Samosaran and listen to the sermon, and he came out, and while he came out on the road, a king was going to the Samosaran from on the sitting on the elephant. Okay, and accidentally the frog came out on the road and the elephant has to put his leg on that. Okay, and because of that the frog died, and frog became a celestial being same moment. Okay, and because he had a wish to go to the Samosaran, so being a celestial being, the first thing that he did, he went to the Samosaran and he reached before the king could reach. So that is about the eligibility. Okay, so the eligibility of the moment is very independent. You never know what will happen next, so just understand the eligibility of the moment and accept it as it is. If you understand eligibility, your curiosity, your curiosity ends and you become very calm and peaceful. Okay, because the curiosity is the cause of all asayam, in austerity. Okay, and once your curiosity ends by understanding the eligibility of the moment and its independence, automatically you become peaceful. There is nothing that is what I would say, कुछ भी आंदोलित नहीं करता है, ये करो वो करो ये करो वो करो, nothing. You understand the eligibility, the true nature of the eligibility of the moment, and you know that each modification is independent and it will, whatever action has to take place, it will take place independently on its own, and there is nothing on my head to do anything apart from being an observer. Okay, so automatically you are relaxed and calm. This is a bit tough, but I will try to translate. निमित्तों की प्रतीक्षा करे बिना, don't wait for the instrumental cause. Okay. शक्ति को छुपाए बिना, don't hide your inherent power. Okay. योग्यता प्रमाण उद्यम कर. योग्यता प्रमाण. Put efforts according to your eligibility and remain satisfied in the soul. Okay. This is a very good point. Don't wait for the instrumental cause. Don't hide your inherent strength. Put efforts according to your inherent strength. Okay. And be satisfied in the soul. Means be satisfied whatever is happening is as per eligibility of the moment, and nothing else could have happened in this moment. Okay. So whatever is happening in the correct manner, in the correct sequence. Just accept it and be relaxed. Don't say that this should have happened and this should not have happened, and don't blame anybody that because of him I have to suffer this and because of that. Nothing. Just accept. Okay. For any action to take place, all the five causes are present. So it is not because of the eligibility that the action has taken place. There are other causes present at that particular moment. Very good point. योग्यता से पूर्व कार्य होता नहीं और योग्यता होने पर कार्य रुकता नहीं. Okay. Nothing, no action takes place before its eligibility. Okay. And when the eligibility comes, nothing stops from that action. Okay. So just that frog who wants to go to the Samosaran. Okay. And he's such a small creature and he has to go a long distance. But when the eligibility of the moment came, he died, he became a celestial being, and he immediately reached the Samosaran. All in a moment. Okay. So that's reaffirms the eligibility of the moment. The next point. स्वच्छंदता के भय से योग्यता का स्वरूप न जानना परम गुरु में शंका है. Okay. So there is always a saying that if we consider everything to be happening according to the eligibility of the moment, then we will become swachand. Swachand means what is a good the one who does only
carefree.
Carefree, right? Carefree, right? Very good, very good. Thank you so much. Carefree. Okay. So because of carefreeness nature, you should not fear in understanding the eligibility of the moment. Okay. And if you do that, that means you don't believe in the preachings of the masters. The next point. हम स्व पर की योग्यता बदलने के मात्र ज्ञाता है. हम स्व पर की योग्यता बदलने के मात्र ज्ञाता है. We are only an observer of our self and non-self eligibility of the moment, of the changes happening in the self and the non-self. Okay. Eligibility of the moment. We are only an observer of ourself also and of non-self things happening also. We are only an observer and not the doer of the changes happening in ourselves as well as in the non-self entities. This again relaxes you that there is nothing on our head. We are by default an observer. Even if we believe ourselves to be a doer, we don't become a doer. Okay. Even if you believe that I am doer, I am upbringing the kids, I am earning for the family, I am cooking the food. Okay. But you don't become one. The next point. योग्यता के विरुद्ध कथा व्यर्थ है. So thinking against the eligibility of the moment is useless, because things happen according to the eligibility of the moment. Okay, so any thought against the eligibility of the moment is useless. Understanding the eligibility of the moment is like manifesting omniscience knowledge, okay, in an indirect manner. So we are not possessing the omniscient knowledge, but if we understand the eligibility of the moment, okay, we can consider it as an indirect way of understanding omniscience knowledge. Okay. तत्समय की योग्यता की प्रतीति होने पर परोक्ष रूप से केवल ज्ञान हो गया. परोक्ष, not direct, but indirect way. In an indirect way, we have manifested omniscience knowledge. Because in omniscience knowledge also, the God sees the eligibility of all the substance of this universe and all the three times, past, present, and future. And here we understand the eligibility of the moment, and we are also in that same position, because we also don't feel we can comprehend the independent happening of all the things around us, and we are also not worried by understanding the eligibility of the moment. Last point. तत्समय की योग्यता की पर्याय में संतुष्ट होना महान पुरुषार्थ है. महान पुरुषार्थ is great effort, okay, and संतुष्ट. So तत्समय की योग्यता की पर्याय में, okay. So the eligibility of the moment of modification to remain satisfied in itself is a great effort. Okay. What is a great effort? The eligibility of the moment of modification to remain satisfied in the eligibility of the moment of modification is great effort. Now it is correct. Okay. To remain satisfied in the eligibility of the moment of each modification is great effort. Okay. So we have to be just remain satisfied. Whatever has to happen, whatever action has to happen in each and every modification will happen on its own, and we are just an observer. And when we are an observer and not a doer, nothing matters to us. If it happens this way, we are okay. If this does not happen this way, we are still okay. So now there is no entity in this universe who will be able to make you sad, because you have developed a knowledge of the eligibility of the moment, and that knowledge of the eligibility of the moment settles everything in you. There is no curiosity, there is no doership, everything is accepted very easily. Okay, and this is how you remain happy in all situations in life, whether it is a favorable or an unfavorable. It is the eligibility of the moment that is responsible, and nobody else is responsible. And we as an observer are not the doer of the eligibility of the moment. So we are very relaxed and calm. And by default, we are an observer. And in actual also, we are an observer. And that ends all kinds of anxieties and perturbedness and passions, whatever they are manifesting, nothing. Okay, just accept it. So how good this would be a feeling when you are able to accept everything and everything that is happening around you, and you are not manifesting any kind of attachments and aversion. Okay, and you just can imagine how relaxed you would be, just by understanding the eligibility of the moment. So eligibility of the moment, when you understand it clearly, all kinds of questions in your mind ceases. Why it ceases? Because there is no question when we understand the eligibility of the moment. Okay. And until and unless we don't understand it, the question keeps on coming, why? But when you understand eligibility of the moment, that why stops, because it's the eligibility. Why this has happened? Because it was the eligibility. So you have to use it in the right sense to become happy. And having said that, depending, we understand the eligibility of the moment also, but still we put in right efforts intentionally. Okay. बुद्धिपूर्वक हम प्रयास करेंगे और जो हो जाए उसमें संतुष्ट रहेंगे. Okay. बुद्धिपूर्वक means intentionally. Intentionally we will be trying to put the right efforts and be satisfied in whatever is the outcome. Correct? Everyone understood? तत्समय की योग्यता, eligibility of the moment. Okay. So this is a great tool for art of happy living. Yeah. Anyone wants to say anything, ask any question? We are still with 2 minutes left.
So it is very difficult to accept it. We can understand, but it is very difficult to accept it.
So that is where your talent will come into use. You used your talent to understand the eligibility of the moment, and you will automatically feel relaxed. You have to connect eligibility of the moment in all the situations that is happening around you. मेरे पास इतने रुपए क्यों नहीं है? A question. Because now everyone is in the rat race. सब लोग देखा देखी करते रहते हैं and दुखी होते रहते हैं, right? But eligibility of the moment says that each one is independent, right? The eligibility of different persons is different. So why this comparison? This comparison is only bringing sadness in our life. If you don't compare yourself with anybody, you will feel relaxed. And you are ready to accept whatever is happening in your life. And it could not have done something, इससे अच्छा कुछ नहीं होता. जो हो रहा है वो सही हो रहा है एकदम. Whatever is happening in your life is absolutely perfect and normal. And that was only destined to happen, and it has happened. So all this acceptance, although it looks very simple at the outset, but it's a very deep psychology that is creeping in yourself, and you will become carefree in all the situations. Nobody will be able to create a tension in yourself. There will be no stress in your life if you understand the eligibility of the moment. Whatever stress is there, because we are not ready to accept the eligibility of the moment. Okay. And when you are not able to accept it, then always there will be a stress, because of your expectations, there is stress. Okay. And expectation has no role in the eligibility of the moment. मेरा बेटा बड़ा नाम करेगा, and बेटा बन गया डब्बू, तो आपको तो दुखी होना है. Right? So it is our expectations, and because of expectation, the sorrow, the grief, the suffering is there. And when you realize the eligibility of the moment as the main cause of any action that is taking place, then you will not blame anybody. You will be able to accept it, and you will be able to experience calmness in all the situation that is happening. So this is, although we have discussed this in a half an hour only, but to practice it, you need a lot of thinking on this topic. Okay. And this is nowhere mentioned in the textbook. This is just Panditji's own acumen and his own experience that has made this discussion such an interesting one that there were 36 hours of discussion on this in this particular topic. Okay. So I will share that link also of Nimit Upadan and the corresponding chart also from which he has taught all this 36 hours. Okay. And that is something, although 90-80% of the things we have covered in the class, but still the application part is the beauty of this topic. Okay. So that is the greatness of his, that he is able to connect everything into the day-to-day life situation, and he finds ways to be relaxed in every situation. Okay. So that is something that you have to explore on your own 36 hours. And if you feel you have time and you want to go deep into this topic, you understand going deep into this topic is nothing but just preparing yourself to empowering yourself to be at ease, to be in a relaxed manner, stress-free manner in all situations in life. So this is very practical. This is the medicine for all kinds of diseases that are happening right now. Stress is the main cause of all the diseases, you know, and this is stress-free buster. So we end the class here. We have still 2 topics to cover. The Nimit Upadan Doha from this book that I have shared the PDF today. Okay. And we will be referring that PDF in the next class. It's in Hindi only, but I will be translating live as I have done today. The 2 topics that we discussed now in the instrumental cause and the eligibility of the moment. Okay. And this is what you have to put it in your CC2. I'm not expecting it. I'm expecting whatever is there in the textbook, but for your own benefit and for your own enjoyment, if you contemplate on these points, it will benefit you. Okay. So you have to complete it by on 20th of December. And one more assignment is pending, that is LCPA. 3 questions are given. Okay. And that is I think 30th December is the last date. Okay. So these 2 assignments are remaining. You have to complete it. First, the Nimit Upadan topic that you have to complete as a CC3. You can submit orally also if you are not finding time to write it. Ideally, you have to write, you have to prepare the chart, and it will be your permanent notes on that. Okay. And later on, when you want to again reconnect it, you can just see the summary that you have done in CC3, and your knowledge will come live to you that point of time. Okay, any questions, Soumya?
Sir, just one question. When we read all the scriptures of Charananyog, etc., what should we, how should we synchronize the knowledge that we have discussed today in the reading of Charananyog, etc.?
Yes. So there are 4 expositions, and each have its different style of explaining things, right? So when we understand the style of all the 4 exposition, we can able to synchronize all the 4 exposition in our knowledge. Okay. So there will be some action that has to take place, like buddhi purvak kuch karna hota hai. So Charananyog will tell us that what you should do intentionally. Okay. And Dravyanyog will tell us the tat samay ki yogyata. Tat samay ki yogyata is one of the important topic of Dravyanyog. The most important topic of Dravyanyog. It will relax you like anything, you know. It's a instant cooler, you know. So this Dravyanyog is the eligibility of the moment. And the Pratman Yog will tell you about the Nimit, instrumental causes. Okay. So under the presence of this instrumental causes, this eligibility will manifest in this substance and with all the causes that are related to it. Okay. So karma theory, Charananyog will tell you that the absence of which karma will manifest what. Okay. So for Samyak Darshan, we consider the example of Samyak Darshan as the action, okay, right belief as the action, then the absence of faith deluding karma, okay, that will be from Karnani Yoga. The efforts that you put in understanding the scriptures and the contemplation further will be the action of your mind, speech and body corresponding to that will be Charnan Yoga, okay, and Dravyan Yoga will be the eligibility of the moment that the action has taken place, okay, and Pratman Yoga will act as a guide to us.
And sir, Purusharth and Upadan, these two also can be thought of as part of Dravyana only, na? That Atma में शक्ति थी first thing, and उस समय मतलब आत्मा का
So
ऐसा
Dravyan Yoga will be responsible for that thought process, right? But the action to take place will be Charnan Yoga. Okay, so it is all connected. It is not that all are different. Although there is a limitation of depicting or explaining one Anuyog at a time. But when the action takes place, it's all the four Anuyog, four exposition that is into play. Okay, so it's a complete package. It's a complete package. So what we are doing is we are understanding one topic at a time. Okay, but when you understand it clearly, it becomes a package for your knowledge. And that knowledge will come out anywhere, anytime when you are needing it. Okay. So again, we are an observer in that place also. So there is an adverse situation in life, and all our past knowledge that we have acquired, that efforts that you have put in right now to understand this topic will come handy in those situations, and the problem will be solved automatically in both the situation you are an observer. So the problems will come, but the problems will be solved by the knowledge that we have acquired right now. Okay, that we are acquiring right now. All these will come in handy, and this will not be limited to this birth only. This knowledge will carry forward to the next birth also. Okay, all the material substance will remain here when you go to the next birth. But this knowledge, okay, this knowledge, the right knowledge, to see the things in right perspective will carry forward in the next birth also. And that is how we had acquired something good in the past lives also. And that has come handy. That's where we are going deep into this kind of knowledge, because we have left something unfinished task in previous birth. And we have again connected, and we are again going to go in the next birth with all this knowledge. Okay. So this is something that is going to be useful for you, not only in the present birth, but you are going to get liberated with this knowledge. Okay. So very, very important. Still, we have one more class that will be the last class, and this you should read if you are able to read Hindi, and then I will try to explain in English. I will also practice over the next few days and try to get all the correct words. Okay, but we will be doing direct translation from Hindi to English in the class live. And we have two things. One is the Pandit Bhaiya Bhagwati Das ji, Upadan Nimit Doha, and one from Pandit Banaras Das ji. Both the scholars have written this in Hindi, and that we will be understanding in English in the next class. So Banaras Das ji is only 7 words, but Bhagwati Das ji, Bhaiya Bhagwati Das ji, that is, I think, 41. Yeah. 43, 45, okay. 47. 47 verse in Bhaiya Bhagwati Das ji, and that's literally a debate between Upadan and Nimit. Okay. So I shared the dramas also. So that same drama is taken from this particular Bhaiya Bhagwati Das ji. So out of 3-4 dramas that I shared, one was of a very good quality. I think that was from the Smarak. Okay. So you can see that drama and understanding this whole topic also. Okay. So we'll meet up next week. and in meantime you prepare the concept clarity. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना